Hello everyone, my name is Jorge Ventura, also as a guy who topped regionals with heroes that went undefeated. Alright, so this is my build. So in total, I ran 10 monsters. I'll put this guy aside to explain his concept later. So I ran 2 Goblinbergs, pretty much normal, special Shadow Mist to search out. That's basically his purpose. 2 Bubblemans, a target for mass change to bring out Mass Hero Acid, and also to do XC plays like normal summon any random level 4, then set all your explosive traps, and then overlay for something useful. Then 2 Summoner Monks, another way to bring out Shadow Mist out faster, and the core of the deck, 3 Shadow Mist. And I played 1 Wild Heart. Okay, so first I want to give a shout out to, let's see if I know how to pronounce his dueling network name, Alice Odernix or something like that. Hopefully I got it right. Right, so the reason he introduced me to the idea of running 1 Wild Heart. The reason why is because it's great synergy with my other heroes like Shadow Mist, Search Out Wild Heart, and Yugioh, Search Out Wild Heart. So the first reason why I like running this card is because it's unaffected by trap cards. So yeah, the meta right now is Pendulums and Cosmos, and they have some traps, not a lot, but some. For example, the Time-Space Trap Hole or the Storming Mirror Force. So when they said back roll, I just summon this guy and just poke for 1500. And also, the level is a level 4 for a generic rank 4 plays. And also, the last reason why I ran this guy is because of Mass Hero Dian. And Mass Hero Dian is really good. It's like your own A Hero Lives, except you have to destroy a monster on your opponent's side of the field and send it to the grave, and then search or summon Shadow Mist, for example. Then Shadow Mist effect, search it for mass change, attack Shadow Mist, then during the battle phase you use mass change, and it just pushes for OCK. So that's the reason why I ran 1 Wild Heart. And also I had certain Stellar Knight matchups. So as you guys know, the Stellar Knights, they run a lot of back rows, so Wild Heart came in a clutch during those games that I had. So just a total of 10 monsters. For spells, I ran, I believe, 16 spells. Yeah. So I ran 1 Reinforcement of the Army, Search Out Goblinbergs or any heroes that I might need. Book of Moon's really great. This format because of Pendulums with their Synchros or Xyz plays, I can use Book of Moon, their monsters, and then next turn just have them destroyed by another bigger monster. Then Regeki. This card is pretty good against when you have Dark Law out. So Dark Law, Regeki, and just banish all your opponent's monsters. I'm just 2 E-calls now, 3, just 2, because I feel like the heroes, like you already have enough things to search out for heroes, and E-call up 2, it just makes the deck a little bit more consistent. And then just 2 Instant Fusion, and also my traps, I only ran 1 Call Haunted because I feel like Instant Fusions are my Call Haunted somehow. But Instant Fusion, I feel like it's a bit better because you don't have to set and then activate it during your next turn. So I like Instant Fusion better, and also helps for Xyz plays. And then also 3 Forbidden Lands. So this card has 2 purposes. First purpose, to protect your Dark Law against spells and traps such as Dark Hole or Regeki. And also you can use it defensive. Oh, that was defensively the first purpose. And another one, if they attack, you use chain this card during the damage step, so their monsters get destroyed. That's pretty much it. And of course 3 mass change. I only played these mass change, no form change or any other mass change cards, because mass change I feel like it just, well, it is better. And just 3 Hero Lives to bring out another way to bring out Shadow Mist faster. Let's go to Dark Law. So that's it for the spell cards. Then for trap cards, I played this. These are my only single cards. So just 1 Grand Horn of Heaven. I really like this card, but at the same time I don't, because it's really useful only if you have Dark Law out. So I only ran 1, because I mean I have Solemn Warning to make up for the other one. And also Grand Horn of Heaven is really bad against Cosmos. And just 1 Call of Haunted, and also as I mentioned, my other 2 Instant Fusions are like my Call of Haunteds, but better since you don't have to set them. And I just found Call of Haunted to be better. Then Vanities is really good. Everything special summons this format. And just 1 Bottomless Trap Hole. I really like this card because against Cosmos it doesn't target and their monsters get banished, so their big ships don't get their effects when they get. I mean, they don't get sent to the grave in the first place, but they get banished. Then for my other trap cards, I ran 2 Void Trap Holes and 2 Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare. So the reason why I ran these cards because monster effect negation is really good against pendulums, and also they do not target. Most of my trap cards do not target for the Cosmo matchup since heroes really have a hard time against Cosmos. So when they summon their big ships, per se Dark Destroyer, then they call it the effect. Void Trap Hole or this card are pretty like good to negate their effects and to banish them if you have Dark Law on board. And I went 2 and 2 because Void Trap Hole counters on Forerunner, because since when they summon it doesn't trigger an effect, only during the standby phase. So I went 2 and 2 to have my chances of having either one of them during that matchup. Then Mirror Force, pretty much against Cosmos or preventing OTKs, and with Dark Law on board, it's like a huge dimensional prison. And also, people are asking me why 3 trap stuns and not MSTs, since a lot of the meta decks right now hardly run any back roll. That's true to some extent. So pendulums, this card, it's most of the time it is that, but at the same time it isn't, because they maybe run 1 or 2 traps, being Solemn Warning, Vanity's Emptiness, or Time Space Trap Hole. And Trap Stun really comes in the clutch whenever they have Vanity's face up and I can't switch summon. So I use Trap Stun to stun their own Vanities and use their own Vanities against them. If I have Dark Law, there is no way they could get rid of their own Vanities since all their cards get banished instead of them being sent to the grave. So Trap Stun is good and bad at the same time. And also, it's regionals. There's bound to be a lot of decks that run heavy trap cards, and I faced Teller Knights, so Trap Stun was really great during that turn. So you just flip Trap Stun and then go Master Roll Acid and blow up their back row. And against Cosmos, they do run some trap cards, so it's really relevant, but at the same time it isn't. But I really liked it. It's preference. I prefer Trap Stun first game than MSTs. And for the extra deck, Gaga Samurai to push for OTKs, Abyss Dweller against Burning Abyss, and also against Cosmo, since if I don't have Dark Law out. And also this guy, Karn Gorgon. I really like this card because for Pendulum Magicians, the Pendulum, I forgot its name, but the one that targets back row and destroys it, this card is really great because I could target their own pendulum skills to pop like their skills so they won't pendulum summon, and also just I can use a redirected target to anything else. Same thing with Ward. So let's say they want to break through my Dark Law. If I have this guy out and this guy out, I just redirect the target to a Wild Heart, and Wild Heart it's unaffected by trap cards. So it's really good. Ptolemaeus to go into Diamond or use it as a material, and then or Ptolemaeus into Pleiades. So the reason why I ran this card instead of Durandal is because I'm kind of biased. I like Constellars. Constellar was one of my first decks, but at the same time I like this card over Durandal because Durandal can't really do much if your opponent has really strong monsters. For example, Pendulums, they have that one synchro with 2850 attack points, and Durandal can't really do much against it. So if you have Pleiades out, you can just bounce it back when they're summoned. So that's the reason why I like consider Pleiades over Durandal. It's just preference. I like Pleiades, other people run Durandal. So that's the reason why I chose to play Pleiades. Castel, bounce anything Cosmo Town or anything that might be problematic. Like Gusto Emerald, I have 10 monsters and I use up my monsters pretty fast, and like Gusto comes in the clutch to recycle those monsters back and just have more monsters in my deck. One Master Roll Anki to push for TKs, and Diam, as I explained earlier, it's a mastering each target using my Wall Heart, and pretty much it's really good. I like it. It's really underrated though, and its stats are pretty great. 2800 attack, pretty optimal against Infernoids, and also the mist value, Avion. So it gets over it, and its defense is really great as well. It's 3000. I could just put it in defense if my opponent is playing Cosmo and I have Dark Destroyer, so I could just wait for an out or something. Mass Hero Acid, just blow up scales, back row, everything. 2 Nordens for generic rank 4 plays, and also the core of the deck, Mass Hero Dark Law. So pretty much this card is great against pendulums. Everything gets banished. They don't get to recycle their pendulum and then use them again over. Whenever they search, I could banish 1 random card from their hand. It's really, really great, this format. And on to the side deck. Right, so for monsters, I ran 1 Prisma, 2 Cyber Dragons. Let's move this. 2 Maxis and 2 Chimera Attacks. So Prisma, as you guys could assume, it's my searchable Cyber Dragon. So whenever my opponent has big ships, I can use Prisma, send a Cyber Dragon to grave, change its name, and then Contact Fusion into Chimera Attack. So Prisma is really, really great. It's searchable by E-Cost, Shadow Mist. So I could have this card whenever I want, most of the times. It's really great against Cosmos, like I mentioned, and I already like it. And then just 2 Maxis whenever my opponents get crazy, like against Pendulums. When they special a lot, I can use Chain Maxi, great against Burning Abyss, so they won't go off. And then 3 Mystical Space Typhoon. So I swap out the Trapstone for this if I'm going first, since MST is better than Trapstone. And then 2 Mind Crushes. So whenever I choose to go first, this card and Dark Law are really, really great. So they go -2 whenever they search. So the card is search out, I can use Mind Crush it, and then Dark Law just banish any other card. So I ran 2 Mind Crushes. And also for 3 Typhoons, I ran 3 Typhoons. So this card was really great whenever my opponent chose for me to go second. So it was kind of like an MST during their turn. So when they would set their scales, instead of them going off, I would chain this, pop their scales, and from there they would have to think of another way to make their play. But most of the times they just chose to pass turn since I kind of ruined their combo. And also my deck, it's more of a preventive type. So in order to go to B, they have to go A to B. So, but if I prevent A, B won't happen. So my deck pretty much just stops their combos, and then they have to pass turn. So that's it for my deck profile. I want to give a shout out to my new sponsors, Murillo Digital System, really competitive and really fun to come. And also to, man, my friends, there's so many of them. I don't want to name them because then I might forget and they're gonna get buttered. So to all my friends and to all the Heroes players out there, like there's still hope, we can still top and all that. Just be creative, have fun with it, and that's it. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.